Hi Scorpio, welcome to your reading for Aries season. I decided to do you right after because with all these Aries placements going on, I would not be surprised if you are also affected. You are ruled by Mars like Aries. So for you, I think it's a time where you're going to realize you're going to need to have a little more armor. Or if it's not packing heavy, it's repairing the armor that you already have, maybe doing some updates, some tweaks even. You feel like your defenses are low. And I think for a while they have been. But now with all these planets in a very warlike energy, there's a need to prepare. Okay? And for you, preparing is not just physical. It's mental. Where in your life have you allowed something to be shoved under the rug? Being ruled by Pluto also means not only being psychological, but psychology also comes with discovering things that have been hidden, that have not been found, that have been forgotten about. So somewhere in your psyche, somewhere within your personality, how you establish boundaries, just who you want to be out in the world is going to be redefined, okay? And we're going to be moving more with a little discipline, and I think we're going to be a little more quiet. Although we are private, Scorpio, and I say we because I'm a Scorpio rising, so I have a lot of Martian energy, and even my closest relatives are Scorpios. Even though you guys are really private, there is always that one thing that you're really vocal about, that you have pride in, that you love, talking about. It could even be kind of like just kind of indicating how strong you are. Sometimes it's just not about your demeanor. Sometimes you just love talking about just how you do things, where your power lies. So I feel like that perspective, in that way, you are going to learn to kind of maybe keep that to yourself too. I think you've realized that that's also gotten you into situations where you kind of gave yourself away, and it gave people or things a reason for it to go against you. Because your energy is very dominating, and people do love to dominate you, Scorpio. They love to test you and make you feel like they can avoid you. But death is inevitable. Death will come. If it's not now, it will be later. So it doesn't matter how people try to play you or manipulate you. You're the one that sets the tone for the ending anyway. The ending always is in your favor. So in that way, there's no need to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, I used to say it all the time. Oh God, I can't say it. This post-Mercury retrograde, I still find myself tongue-tied where I can't think of the words I want to say. But anyway, it'll come back to me, I promise. Okay? Alrighty, so now this thing, I'm getting heavy Gemini placement, so it could also be around the Gemini season. So I would come back in June and see if you decide to kind of keep, like I said, keep things to yourself, especially when it comes to a specific relationship in your life, a relationship that you were very fond of, you held very dear to, you had a high standard for. Okay, things just kind of fell out of place a bit. And you're kind of in the state of vacillation as to whether you want to come back, but with, a new armor or a padded one, or if it's even worth coming back to at all. If you really have to go out of your way to wear double protection, eventually that's going to get heavy and you're going to get tired. So this is a decision that you have to come up with on your own. I'm not going to tell you which way to go here, but once you figure out that way, it will come from a space where you decide what you want to do. Not the opinions of others, not the expectations, you and your safety. That's what's important. Okay? That's what's important when it comes to also meeting and mingling with other people. For some of you could be in a business where you're constantly around people, or you may, or like, whether it be in sales, whether it be in charities, functions, any kind of collaboration, that collaborative space. I feel like you're going to also start moving differently as far as how you want to make an impression in your career sector, in your business life, even in your personality. That could also be a kind of armoring up that you could be doing. If it's not romantic relationships, you know, the next best thing is your relationship with money and how you fit into that space. Okay? So it's enhancing how you represent yourself. All right, Scorpio? All right, let's see what else. Also, you know, a thing too, we also want to recognize that this could absolutely be a time where you're ready to just kind of let things go. This is kind of like divine timing in a way where you feel like you're ready. You know, you're ready to allow things to just happen and just leave them behind. You want more, okay? You don't want to entertain the past, things that are just out of place for you now. You don't even fit in your old self, an old version of you. A version of you that didn't know a lot, that was constantly in a space of being told how to behave, how to act, you know? I feel like this is something that has molded your personality ever since you were young. And Scorpio, you know, as someone who's ruled by psychology, I really want you to consider this. A lot of who you are now has a lot to do with your upbringing. And if your upbringing was traumatic, it's going to come with you. You're going to still carry it in a lot of ways. This is why I said earlier, these are things that have been hidden, that have been pushed under the rug, that now you can't ignore it. You know, there's so much under that rug. Now you see the rug is not aligned. You know, there's a bump there. You just can't unsee it now. So this is reprocessing who you are and how you react to things and what you consider as a hit or something that's disrespectful or something personal. And instead trying to morph that into something that, instead of allowing it to hit you deeply, it just bounces off instead. You know, how you take bullets is all, or any kind of weapon that's formed against you, how you receive that is a really big indicator of how powerful you are in comparison to that thing that's aimed at you. If you give it power, it's going to hurt you deeply. If you see it as what it is, which a lot of times is just a projection, it just bounces right off of you. You know, like that phrase, I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say sticks back on you. It's kind of like that kind of mindset, that kind of perception. Okay? So again, we're not taking things personal, because as a water sign, you're also very icy. So your shape is not just fluid like a Pisces or a Cancer. It can also freeze and be cold logic like an air sign. Right? But to your core, you are water. You're just manipulated into a higher intelligence. That's what I mean, you know? You can shapeshift. With Chariot there, that allows you to shape and mold. Right? Okay. 5 of Swords in the reverse. Judgment. 8 of Cups in the reverse. Okay. Scorpio, I feel like there may be some past person or influence that may make its way to you. It may make its way to you in a form of dependency. Could be financial dependency, could be dependency on your mind, you know, that emotional intelligence that you possess. This is something, you know, it's interesting. A lot of people respect you, but at the same time, they love to try to cage you. They love to try to make you feel inferior. Okay, again, power plays. That's something Scorpios always deal with when it comes to other people. You're going to have someone or perhaps multiple people within your vicinity that is going to want to leech off of that emotional intelligence because they don't know how to get themselves out of a space of codependency. The Nine of Pentacles to the Emperor in reverse. And by doing that, it also makes you depleted. It takes away everything. It's an opportunity for everything to be taken from you. Okay? So you have to be really careful. Because what people take, like, see, here's the thing, Scorpio. Your energy really, the reason why you're compared to like a well or the bottom of the ocean is that depth is inexhaustible. So people just want to take, but then they take too much. And then after a while, you do feel depleted. Then you need space to recharge. So this is something that you can absolutely get yourself out of. You just can't allow these people back in. Or if you recognize someone new that reminds you of someone from the past. I'm thinking of that song by Usher, You Remind Me. That could also be a sign for you to just, you see the signs early on that you missed in the past, don't even entertain it. You know, it's your choice to get out of this. And I think you'll also recognize how easy it is, that you're not easily influenced or fallen into the same traps as you did. So I think there will also be a realization of growth and potential, which the Queen of Wands indicates to me. Okay? But again, it's your choice if you want to entertain something because it feels good, because it's been a while perhaps. But just recognize what you're risking in the end. Bombastic, that's the word. I told you I would remember that word. It's bombastic. Okay, let's get some oracle cards. Okay, so we have patience. Patience will serve you absolutely well this time. And I think you even feel more patient than you've ever have before. And that's because Saturn's in Aries. So we have that Capricorn influence. Okay, and you're a lot more patient than Aries anyway. I feel like your impatience is more surface level. Like if you want like something now, like a glass of water, and people are taking too long, you'll get up and get it. But when it comes to plotting revenge or waiting for your opportunity to strike, you have patience there. So the cards are telling me that I think, you know, you need to surrender and just be patient for everything at this time, you know, even when it comes to driving. I have road rage, so I have no patience, but sometimes I have to try to remember that maybe things are delayed because they're meant to be delayed. Maybe I'm not supposed to be at a certain place or a time. It may take me off my course, okay? And that's the balanced thinking. So it's being able to level out your way of thinking, perception, just for your safety, okay? And also just letting go of the need to control too, right? Just chill out, right? You can turn into ice, right? Just chill out. There's nothing you can do. Everything in divine timing. All right, Scorpio, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tap on the notification bell. Let me know in the comments if if this reading resonated with you. If you want a personal, my website's in the link. You can follow me on Instagram. That's where I list all my in-person events. So if you're from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, come by and get a personal reading with me, like live. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you Taurus season. Bye, Scorpio.